Welcome to Ask Kelly. Rachel has asked, how do you look at the positives more than the negatives? For example, I ate some cake, so I have mucked up and I only focus on this as a failure. Then this cancels out and stops me from focusing on all the positives that I have achieved. Wow, this is so important and thank you for asking this. The intense focus on what you do wrong has been forged from the diet, weight loss, and fitness industries. You have been falsely led to believe that you have to be, well, perfect. And if you are not, then you have blown it all and all of the positives that you have done. So it leads to very unhealthy mindsets and behaviors such as the all or nothing, restricting, overcompensating, binging, and more. It is completely focused on your deficits, flaws, failings, and that you're not good enough. Nothing that you do is good enough or ever good enough. You will therefore consistently maintain cycles of failure. So the only way you're ever going to be successful is really by changing your perspective and the meaning of positives and achievements. So the first thing I can say is let go of a positive or achievement having to be big. Because when we diet, really we're told that if it's not big, it's not worth acknowledging. So positives can be found even in the most negative situations. And then, we don't have your conversation in your head, get it down on paper because your brain is hardwired for negativity. So if you try and look for the positives without writing them down, really all you're doing is battling with the negative mind that wants to maintain the status quo of negativity. So I found that the following process that I'm going to tell you absolutely invaluable for myself, and I use it with my clients, and they also find this absolutely invaluable. So have a set of questions that you ask yourself and have them pre-prepared. So write them down. And this way, you don't have to think about it. And you can go straight to these questions that you've already pre-prepared and you can answer them. And it will help you to easily connect with the positives. So I suggest you create your own set of questions. But I'm going to give you a starting point. And you can use these questions because, as I said, these are some of the questions that I ask my clients and I also asked myself when I was going through recovery. So let's take the example of eating some cake. This may not be your situation, Rachel, but I want to be able to offer you ways to see positives even when things may not seem possible. So let's say you don't just eat one piece of cake, but you eat a half of the cake. So that's what we call a binge. These are the questions that I would get you to prepare. And if we were together in a session, I'd actually ask you these questions. Could it have been worse? Has it been worse or bigger in the past? Now, I'm talking about the binge. When was the last time you had such a binge? Or you can put it in your own person. So when was the last time I had such a binge? What did I do differently? So this is focusing on a positive action, thought, or emotion, this time that I haven't done before. In percentages, how healthy or non-processed was the rest of the food in my day so far? When I look back over my previous days, what percentage of healthy to not so healthy foods have I eaten? And finally, what can I learn from this situation to help next time? Now, if I answer them as if you were in front of me and you were giving me the answers, now again, I don't know you, so I'm just spitballing, what you would say to me. And here's the answers to all those questions. Yes, it could have been worse, and it has been worse. The last time I had a binge like that, it was over a month ago. And prior to that, my binging was actually 3 times a week. Now, I stopped at half a cake and I threw the rest out. Now, that's really different. Normally, I wouldn't do that. So that's really massive for me. I felt really sick. And so I went and drank lots of water over the next few hours to flush my system out. And I haven't done that in the past either. So that's new. I didn't continue binging. Normally, I would go to the next thing and the next thing until I felt so sick that I just wanted to throw up. Not that I would, but I would be so stuffed and sick. Prior to the binge, the rest of the food in my day was 90 to 100% healthy. And the previous days, it was the same. And in my body, I noticed that I was feeling really good. I felt like I had more energy. I felt as though my head was a lot clearer. So I have learned that cake is a food that right now I binge on. So I'm choosing as much as possible not to buy it. And next time, if it's in my trolley, I will remember how sick it made me feel. And I'll ask myself why I really want it. And hopefully, I'll find the answer and then find healthier or more positive ways to deal with the emotion. So that's what it would sound like if I was asking the questions and you were answering them to me. So trust me, you've got to learn from this and think about the next time. I know a lot of people say, it won't happen next time. Take it from someone who's been there and done that for over 34 years of her life. There will be a next time. So you need to be prepared. Okay? And so that is why it's so important to understand, learn, and develop strategies to improve for when that next situation happens. So I really hope that this has helped you to see that being prepared with questions is the best path to finding and focusing on the positives. It's the fast track to training yourself and your mind to change your perspectives and be curious about what's gone on in your life. Because what we tend to do is we narrow focus. So what we're doing is we're being curious and finding the positives, but most importantly, we're also finding the whys, why it happened, and learning from that, understanding, getting that deeper understanding. So curiosity is so important here. So if you have anything you would like to share about this topic, please pop it in the comments below. And also, if you would like to ask me a question, see the link below and send your question to me because I'd love to hear from you and help you. Have a great day.